Hey guys, and welcome back to the dark side. I'm going to be your host, and today we've got a little bit of special with Black Desert Online. CBT1 has officially begun for all EU and North American servers about 2 a.m. this morning Eastern Standard Time, and I am just getting around to it because a motherfucker gotta work. So let's roll into this and get some character creation. This is probably not going to be a long video, but I don't want it to be extremely long, but let's take a look at some character creation features. So yeah, I want to create a new character. I ain't like I got one now. So right away I want to point out to you guys how fucking awesome these graphics look on these characters. Then what we're going to look at here is the different character classes, and you'll notice that we're minus some character classes. If you've been following Black Desert Online at all, you notice right away that we're missing classes. What we've got on board right now for this CBT1, I'm assuming they're going to open up more classes maybe as the CBT goes along. I didn't see it in the schedule of events, and probably at the very least we'll probably see them in CBT2. So what we've got here is we've got the warrior, and you can see as humans, skill fighters. These guys are like your versatile combatants. Even though they're wearing heavy armor and they've got the shield and shit like that, these guys are gonna be your balls to the walls kind of combat guy. They're gonna be one of the only classes as well that's gonna enable you to block from the front. Only the warrior, but you're also still not sacrificing any speed and agility necessarily because that character's wearing heavy armor or shields. Now I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by missing classes. The classes are locked towards gender. However, them being locked towards gender does not mean that they don't have an alternative class for the female gender. So for instance, the warrior class would be your sword and shield person for the male gender, and its counterpart would be the Valkyrie. That is one of the missing classes inside here that you do not see. Next up we have the ranger, and you can see down here kind of what your classes are pretty good at. So you see that this has got a lot of control, a lot of attack, a lot of evasion, heavy on evasion, and then combos. So your rangers are pretty much, you know, exactly what a ranger normally is your ranged DPS character. I mean, what more do you want me to say about it? That is what a ranger is. Next up we have the sorcerer. The sorcerer is your female mage. I mean, you do have another female mage in here, and I'm going to point out that it is missing. And I'm going to skip down here to the wizard so you can see. By the way, her character model looks badass. I don't know why. I see her character model and I automatically think of like something from Supernatural or some shit like that, but her character model is badass. So I'm going to skip down here, which would be her counterpart would be the wizard, but it's really not the counterpart. Is not the counterpart really is not the wizard. And if you look at this this fucking wizard, does he look like anybody to you guys? Come on, look at him. Does he look like anybody to you guys? Who is it? Who is it? Some of y'all slow. That looks like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, straight up, like bar none, straight up. So the sorcerer, her class is there, the sorceress, excuse me, whatever. Her class is there, and she is really like the female mage. But then the wizard is there, and he's like the male counterpart. But she's not really the counterpart to the sorcerer. There's another class that's missing, and it's called the witch. And it's wizard/witch, and that would be the character class. Again, that character class is omitted from the testing, or at least it is at this point, so it's not there, so we don't have it. And your wizard, you can see, high in attack, evasion skills are there, combos, and so much. Defense and control are really low. My wife was trying to play around with the character creation for this character, and she really couldn't get anywhere on like trying to make this guy look younger. I'm going to probably play with him over the course of the beta to see if that is the truth, and we just can't make a younger looking wizard and they're just supposed to be old guys. I wouldn't be so opposed to that so long as your wizards, it's related to the story that your wizards should be old men. As long as that's concerned, I'm fine with it. She was pretty peeved about it though. Next up we have your berserkers. Berserker, or what I think in the other version they were calling these your giants or whatever. So these guys are double axe wielding. You can see their stats are pretty much skewed. Their attack, their defense, they're not really trying to evade shit, and then they've got their combos. That's it. They want to attack and defend in your face, constant movement, constant stuff going on like that. The evasion skills aren't high, so they're there. Next character class that you have is the Tamer. And while it's called the Tamer, it's really kind of funny because typically you would see the abilities of what your tame. Oh, by the way, that Berserk class right there, they have the ability to turn into wolves. I almost forgot to mention that. Yeah, these guys can turn into wolves to up their attacks and attack values and stuff. But back to the Tamer. So this little chick, to me, it's kind of weird. Because typically in most MMOs you see the Tamer, or the pet class is what the Tamer is. The pet class tied to the ranger abilities, meaning that, you know, any animals collected and so forth like that would be underneath here. But instead they've got a specific class for that called Tamers, which is also funny because they have a profession in the game called Tamer. So yeah, and you can see hers. She's kind of across the board there. Attack, evasion, and just combos. Little control, little defense. I'm going to probably assume that they're going to rely heavily on a pet. That's a pretty cute character model. I kind of like the character model that they've got going on there. It's really cute. So there is one other class that's missing from the game, is the Blader. And the Blader has a female and a male variant as well. But the class just isn't there. I don't know why. It's not in the game right now. It was the class that, to be honest with you, that I was looking forward to. I was looking forward to testing out the Blader, which is it kind of almost looks like a ninja, and they use the bow and arrow as well as a sword. So I was kind of really looking forward to playing the Blader, but unfortunately it's not available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the Warrior, and I'm going to take some time here to show you guys exactly what it is that the character customization offers. And some of you guys have probably seen some videos for these guys already as is, for character creation, but I need one for my fucking channel. So let's take a look at these guys real quick. So customization. First things up is, you can see there's little icons over here, and we've got what I am gonna call Black Desert Online's version of the Zodiac. And I'm not exactly sure in particular how this plays effect on the game, but I chose the shield, and I kind of liked it because the constellation was a shield, but then I liked the attributes, I guess, or characteristics of the shield constellation, which were rational, disciplined, and methodical. This is kind of what I think of when I think of a knight, or, you know, someone that looks like this. So there was that. Okay, so then what I noticed down here was they had a weather thing, and the weather generator is pretty cool. As you click on each of the weather generations, you can see the different lighting effects, and you can see the shadows on the armors and so forth change. Look at it. You can see the pigmentation on his skin changes with the weather as well. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. So I'm pretty sure that just has to do with how the character is going to look for you. Entirely up to you. So let's take I want to look at this character. Let's zoom out so we can see this fucker. So this is our warrior. So let's see. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to you that I like this armor. He looks like a crusader, and that's not my kind of knight. That's not my kind of swordsman. So what we're gonna do is we can go in here and customize some things, and let's take a look at some of the hair features. I don't know if this is a slimmed down version of the hair. Notice that his face is constantly trying to look for you. That's because the view is toggled on, so if I toggle that off, he'll stop trying to look at me, you know, being all creepy and shit. So I don't know if there's going to be more hairstyles. I know that they have a cash shop in the game that's supposed to be played there. but the cost of the game is similar to what Guild Wars did, where it's buy to play. So in North America and Europe, you're gonna have the buy to play model, even though it was free to play, which is a point of contention. A lot of the player base is having currently, like, why the fuck does it gotta be buy to play here? Buy to play, and I don't mean pay to win. I mean buy to play, meaning you buy the initial game and then everything else is there with a cash shop, which hasn't been revealed quite yet. Let's take a look at some of these hairstyles. We got One Direction, right? More One Direction, right? I don't know what the fuck to call this. We're gonna call this the California Surfer Boy. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call that one. California Surfer Boy. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck to call that. Prep Boy. Yeah, I'm gonna call that Prep. That's Prep Academy right there. Let's see what we have here. I don't even know what the fuck to call that. He kind of looks to me right now like Val Kilmer when he played in that movie. What the hell is the movie with the cold fusion and shit like that? Oh man, I can't remember the name, but that's what he looks like to me right now. So we're gonna call that the Val Kilmer. We're gonna call this the 90s boy band. That's what I think of automatically with that, right? What else we got in here? I don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like the 1970s, you know, dudes used to wear. So yeah, we're gonna call that the 70s. I have no clue what the fuck this is. This looks weird. I'm just gonna call it kawaii because it's gotta be related to Korea in some way. Yeah, it's very kawaii fashion trend. My boyfriend's so kawaii, whatever, however the fuck you say that. My favorite, always, Mohawk. Yeah, I'm gonna call that Fabio. That's what he looks like to me right now, Fabio. More One Direction, it looks like. Yep, more One Direction. Just a little bit longer 1D, but just a little bit longer. There you go, standard. That's just a standard cut to me right there. What we got here? It's really weird because this looks like some kind of military cut until you start rolling around to the back and you got the ponytail going on. I don't know what to call it. And then you got the bald. That's like me. So there's not a very lot of ethnic, is what I'm gonna call them, hairstyles in the game, which isn't surprising for a Korean-based MMO and stuff like that or whatever. You know, I'm not surprised by that. Hopefully there's going to be more hairstyles that's going to be released later on in the game, but as you can see, not too many. So you don't have like your traditional dreadlock looks, or you know, different looks and sizes and so forth. I'm going to change the colors up here. It's got a pretty decent color palette, I would say. Like that's a pretty decent color palette to me. Take the fucking view off. I like the color palette. It's pretty decent. Now you can play around with the lengths of your hair, and I'm going to show you guys this right here. So we chose the colors, and you can choose the basic color, which is just your basic layout right here, and then it allows you to change like your hair in. So if you wanted to give highlights, right, like let's see, I like to make my characters I usually like to make their hair white. I don't know why, I just do. You can change and mess around, and you can notice that up in here now I've got pretty much like a frosted tip line. Then I can come over down here and I can change more of the colors and so forth, the base layer and so forth. So you notice we've got the hair, which is the base layer of the hair. So like maybe you're trying to pretend that this is really a beach or bleach blonde character or something like that. So you're going to draw some black roots and then some blonde hair with some really frizzled and frayed tips. You can do that. I'm going to stick with black though. So I think I'm going to keep the frosted tips as well. And you can play around with these dyes inside the hairs as well, and not to mention the areas in which the dyes apply. Like if you'll notice there's some pretty heavy customization shit going on here. Not to mention you can change the shine of the hairstyle. Now with a color like black, I haven't noticed in playing with it that it affects it too much, but you can play with that. So that's beneficial to people who want to go there. The shape of the hair. So I want you to notice that on this scale you have the ability to make your hair really curly, really straight, right? And then you have your curl level. So notice that I changed up my curl level there, and it's got this weird looking got this weird frizzled look to it now. You know, I however you choose to see that, I'm not sure. So you can play with that to get hairstyles that you want, and it's basically curl levels. And now I'm a fan of the mohawk, but I don't particularly like really big mohawks, I guess you can say. So we want to trim that mohawk down. So as you notice, I can trim down the front of my mohawk, right? And if I wanted to, I can trim the front, the back, and then I can curtail out the back length as well. So now I've got a pretty shorter haircut. You can see that there. And you can change this with any of the hairstyles, pretty much. Any, I want to say any hair lengths you can do this with. It's a matter of preference and how you look at that. But there you go. So that's my hair. Let's go into the next options here real quick. My man always looking up at you. So now we have faces, right? So I'm definitely gonna take this goddamn toggle view IUI off. So faces are very limited once again, but for this one you'll see probably somewhat of good reason. So he went from, you know, militant looking newbie on the yellow footprints to really young fucker, high school football player, to just straight up Korean boy band, to finally looking like he's kind of a little bit battle hardened, seen some few tours, right? And now, yeah, that's my dude right there, right? That's the motherfucker that look like he been through some shit, right? So I'm gonna go with him. But now, very few different facial types inside the game. You notice there's like 5 facial types. But to me personally, I don't like when I see a game and I see facial types and body types, because when you typically see a mass amount of facial types and so forth like that, that tends to mean that there's little to no customization that's actually going on with those characters. But in this case, there's going to be a great degree of them, and I'm not going to get too deep into it. So now we can choose facial colors and so forth like that. There are a lot of color palette and skin tones here that I would say, even if some of them look really fucking weird to me, but they're there. You can get your ethnic minority looking characters inside the game, and shape and mold those as you see fit. So it's not that bad to me, with that color. So now, yeah, I know typically this would normally be underneath hairs, but it's not here. So what we've got is we got default face, right? And we've got some beards and stuff like that underneath it. Let's take a look at that. And you can notice that if you look, you're noticing that there's like pretty much this scruffle, I guess you could say. Hold on, let me change this color to black. Yeah, there we go. And you can notice it's just giving him some scruff, right? But if I choose the beard function over here, now we're gonna have some beards that come on. So take a look at those, right? So he's got his goatee going on. You can change the length of your goatee, how long you want it and so forth. Look at that. Kind of starts to look like a little bit of a stubble if you want to. I kind of like the longer goatee. You can also, again, change how curly or straight the hair is, which is just... It's weird to me when you start applying the curly straight, because it's something you're gonna have to finick with. But look at that. There we go. Oh my god. So look at my dude starting to look battle grizzled. I like it. You do have another different hair set features. It's up to you which one you're gonna choose here, obviously, but you've got quite a few hairstyles here that can be elongated, you know, whatever you choose. Yeah, I like this. Look at that. Good old biker beard going on right there. I like it. And that's not limiting you. It's just your beard feature. So it was kind of weird when I first saw it. I was like, oh, what the fuck is my mustache and stuff? And then I scrolled across and I was like, oh, look, mustaches. mustaches. You know, ladies love the mustache, right? No, they don't. I don't think they do. Well, I didn't really particularly like any of the mustaches when I started looking through them, to be perfectly honest. So guess what? I'm not gonna put a goddamn mustache. And then we also can affect sideburns too. This was really cool. Let's see. We'll change that to black. There we go. And you know they do blend well into the various hairstyles as well. You know, some of them give you a little bit weird looks, but you know, if you're going for that Wolverine look, there you go, right? Which kind of looks similar to what the hell I'm sporting right now. But we're just gonna go with the full blended, you know, goatee beard without a mustache. That's what we're gonna go with. Brows. If you want to, you can change your brow lines as well. Now, don't be confused, because I got really fucking confused about it. It was like, yo, what the hell? You notice all is changing is like the background actual lining of the brow. So like your brow dimensions with your eyebrows. So, you know, keep that for whatever you want to. And then when you actually select eyebrows, like if I go with none, now he just has like these weird eyebrows. But then this is the way the hair from your eyebrows grow. It was really weird for me to see this, because I was like, I don't really get what the fuck is going on here. But yeah, so there we go. We got some eyebrows now. I like this one. He kind of looks vicious, but we're gonna go with that one right there. So you start to see that we've got the facial hairs, right? And this gets really in depth the more you go, because I didn't even show you guys that you can change the density of your beards and, you know, your facial features and so forth, the colors, the areas, the shines and so forth like that. It gets really in depth. You can also change your face shapes, the contours of your face and so forth. And I think from what's been reported is that there's like about 32 of these different facial location features in order to change certain dimensions on your face. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you can sit, it is symmetrical, because what it does to one side is going to do the other, unless you lock it out. Like you notice on here, it says symmetrical and non-symmetrical. So if you want to, you can adjust them, and you can make each part adjustable, and you can make fucking Quasimodo if you want to, or you can turn off the symmetrical part, and then you will play with each and every individual part of this app. Like, yeah, so I decided to make this dude a little bit gaunter than what he looks like. Maybe space out his forehead a little bit more. You know, you can change all these features. Me in particular, I thought it was pretty cool, like, because you can see the movement as it's happening. Like, see, I moved his eyebrows down more, so he's got somewhat of a hunch going on to his eyebrows. There's quite a bit to play with. You know, his nose moves and so forth. And you can use the sliders over here to affect different parts too, and you can see the different circumference. So you got your X, Y, and Z axes for them and so forth. So you can, I plan on playing with this extensively. I imagine I'm just trying to run through this stuff so that way you guys can see the customization options. But yeah, you can see it's pretty detailed. It's pretty goddamn detailed. This part alone, we probably could spend hours upon, especially if you're one of those people that like to make your character look the way you want to look, and you want to play with and recreate some things. I'm not going to do that, not necessary right now. I don't want to show that on camera. But we can also change makeup, which is pretty interesting. And I'm not adding any makeup to mine. That's not what I want to do. But you do have makeup options for your eyes and your lips, and you can change, like, you know, his lips right down here, they look kind of like somebody put on some lip gloss or some chapstick or some shit on his. So you can change those if you want to. Same thing with eye makeups, anything like you want to put some blushes on. And this is like good because, in my opinion, you can do different things with this. Where, for instance, like you want battle paint looks to go on there. This kind of lets you expand that for that. And now, to be honest with you, I don't know much about putting on makeup. It's just not my thing. But it's pretty cool in relation to female characters, I think, and the male characters, because you get different effects and looks. Like if maybe you wanted to go with like a tribal warrior or something like that, and you were trying to get a specific look around the eyes, some blackened out eyes or something like that, you could actually do that in the game. Same thing with the lips and so forth. Me particularly, face is fine for me right where it is right now to show you guys for the video. Your eyes, I played around with the eyes for a little bit. They're just standard black, but I always like to try to go for the pitch black looking eyes. If you don't know what the fuck I mean by pitch black, I mean the particularly I mean like Riddick, you know, the silver eye lines. So got my eyes done for a pack of cools in prison. So you can change those. You can also change the opacity of them, the height, the reflection, the shine of them as well. So it's really cool because there's quite a bit. You're messing around with just the lens. You're also affecting the iris and the pupil, all in distinguishing features. That's a lot of detail just to work on with eyes, so it's pretty fucking cool. And then you can also change up your eye lines. Now, this seems more to me like one of those features that if I was a female character and I was trying to do ice paint, stuff like that, that I would get to, but I could also see utility in it for male characters as well. So completely up to you guys how you approach that, but it's pretty cool. Like you can see your eyelashes is changing the length of your eyelashes and dimensions and so forth. I'm comfortable with where my guy's eyelashes are at right now, but if you want to, you can do that. And then you can see like the eye line as well is affected here. One of those things, again, you know, it's entirely up to you, but I kind of like the way my character is looking right now. And you can see the bottom line as well. So that's the bottom line here, top line there, and then your eyelashes coming off. That's quite a, we're talking about quite a bit of customization. If you want to, you so choose, you can also add tattoos. And now there's more tattoo options in the game, and just because the tattoo pops up on your face in a certain area, don't think that that's where the tattoo has to stay. You can actually change the location of the tattoo using the sliders and the scales and so forth like that. So you can see, like, look at that. So if I wanted to, boom, I can change this. Like, I really like the way that one looked. It was like a pretty cool tattoo, whatever. It's, man, stop looking at me, bro. Fucking creeping me out, man. So you can see, like, you can change the tattoo location and stuff like that. So there's nothing keeping the tattoo in that location. Like, even that one looks cool to me, especially with the Riddick eyes, the white eyes. You know, there's quite a few options inside the game for just facial paints and stuff. Like, yeah, this is pretty freaking cool. I'm never a big one for animal prints and stuff, but I really did like this one when I saw it. This was tribal than a motherfucker to me, right? But I like that. I like that a lot. But I didn't go with it. You can also go clown face if you want to, and you can mess around with that, to be honest with you. And I automatically thought of Ultimate Warrior when I saw this shit. There's quite a bit in here to work with. I'm assuming that they're probably gonna come out with some more tattoos and things like that inside the cash shop. I can see it happening. It's gonna be up to this one. You know what? I'm gonna go with the black paint on the side of the face. Yeah, look at him. He's starting to look cyborgish and stuff like that. Change up the colors if you want to as well. You know, if you so choose, you can change up the colors. Don't forget, you can change up the locations of them and stuff like that. So you see that, like, nothing's holding you back here from being creative. Go with what you feel. Quite a lot of customization there. Quite a bit of customization. I like it a lot. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's a lot of detail. So tattoos, wrinkles. If you wanted to add more wrinkles to your face and so forth like that, then you can do that. Like, you know, for me, his face, I wanted a more grizzled kind of guy looking character. So I just added in some nice wrinkles to his forehead, you know, around the eyes as well. You know, now we're starting to show a little bit more battle hardness, you know, maybe too much. But you can tell, like, you see now my character looks like he's been through some shit, son. And then you can look at the standby expressions. Now this is going to come up and it's going to tell you that this is the expression that's going to be showed when your character is in standby. So you want to make sure that you keep it, and that whatever it is there. And I'm going to show you the different expressions. Don't worry, you can go back to one. That's my character fucking smiling. He's like, yo, look at these goddamn pearly whites, bro. This one I think is him mean. Like, I like this one a lot. I kind of considered doing this because yo, my dude looks hard, son. Look at him, he looks hard as fuck. Like, yo, I like that look. Oh, look at him, little crybaby. I don't know what he crying for, but and look, he's just dumbfounded. Or if you're a perv waiting for something. But I really like that battle-hardened grizzle look, to be honest with you. It just looks cool to me. It's the standby look, so remember, it's going to be the look that appears when he's in standby mode. Entirely up to you. I kind of like that look. It's really cool to me, so I'm going to leave it there. Now, I don't think, and I don't know whether or not you can modify that look specific, but as you can see with the weight scale, you can give weight to those looks, meaning how much do you want that person to look angry. So, and you can see certain things are changing as the scale goes down. Wrinkles are being added to the face, teeth are opening up more. Like, you know, you don't have to keep it at 100%, so it's entirely up to you. I kind of like that look. Now, the thing I don't know about, or I'm not sure about, to be honest with the character, is whether or not those looks will change or if they affect anything in the game. So don't get pissed off at me if you make a hardened looking character and then all of a sudden he's like, yo, fuck it. So now the body again, and you can see there's going to be a whole new dimension of customization here that I haven't seen in some games since, to be honest with you, Dragon's Dogma is the only game that I've seen this level of customization in before. That's just being honest. Like you can see here now, once again, your shape and so forth right here, your musculature and so forth, you can affect this on an individual level. You know, I'm gonna expand his chest. I want beefier chest. I'm gonna give him some imaginary lat syndrome. Maybe you want to extend the arms a little bit more. Biceps you want to extend a little bit more as well. You can make them give them some more girth than what they normally are. Same thing as with the legs, you know, make them skinnier if you want to. And right now they're in symmetrical mode, so that way they adjust. You can take that off as well, so that way it doesn't have an effect there. And look at this. So now we can increase the musculature, and look at this motherfucker. He went from, he's like, yo, my abs are on fleek, bro. Like, look at that shit compared to the rest of his body. Like, it's starting to look a little cartoonish here, but, you know, like, definitely, you know, I feel like I'm looking at a Marvel character now. But it doesn't have to be so unrealistic, right? So we can add musculature to the character at degrees. And I guess at the extremes, he will look kind of cartoonish as opposed to something more real. So, like, look at his legs start to get musculature, and you can see the sheen on these bastards, looking like he's ready for the bodybuilding competition and shit, right? I would like musculature, but I don't want musculature in that regards. So what we're going to do here too is, let's see if we can add some shapes and size. Like, if you want to, you can make him some real thick ass legs or some real small ass legs. Like, for instance, for me, to be perfectly honest with you, my fucking calves are probably a lot smaller than that shit. And you notice I am, by extending the character's limbs, I'm also extending his height as well. You can shorten and extend the limbs. It's entirely up to you. Like, if you notice, those limbs extend, right? I'm perfectly comfortable fine with the height of this character. I'm gonna create it and put it in there. And now if you want to, you can use the height scaler, and when you do that, it's going to make your character taller. If you want to, you would have to undo all your adjustable parts right now. It'll make them taller, and it'll change the elongation of the sizes and so forth. Same thing with the body shape. It's going to change all of those parts in order to be a bigger character. So you could make a fat character warrior. It's not, you know, I'm not trying to body shame anybody. If you want to be a fat character warrior, maybe you want to be like, you can change, for instance, Fandral, Vostag. Maybe you want to look like Vostag and be part of the Warriors 3. I don't know, but you can do it. If you don't know who the fuck Fandral, Vostag, and Honan, I think his name is, get the fuck off my channel. Yeah, no, I'm just joking around. Those are characters from Thor. You can also add tattoos here as well. There are body tattoos inside the game. And to be honest with you, I didn't quite like any of the body tattoos, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sure why I didn't like them. I don't know. Like, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not 100% sure why I didn't like a lot of the tattoos here. But in all honesty and truth, of its limited degrees, I didn't by and large like the tattoos. No, didn't. And these also are capable of being moved to different spots on the body as well. You notice they're moving. Again, you're not beholden to hold any of these. I just didn't like them. I don't know what it was. I'll leave that one on him. And here goes something that was really interesting too, is that you can self-edit poses, which is amazing. Now, I am not sure what the fuck these poses are for. Really not sure. But if you ever use a program like Dash 3D, then you probably you'll probably be really familiar with the poses and so forth like that, or the pose creator. Realistically, in all honesty, 100%, this character creator really does feel to me as if though they lifted Dash 3D, which is it's an animator program and so forth like that. Really cool program. And no, I'm not trying to sell it. They're not paying me for that or anything, but it's a really cool program that me and my wife use, and I use it a lot so that way when I'm drawing pictures, I can get animated poses, and it's pretty good for frame of reference, unless you're one of those people that do artwork and like to have actual physical models. I prefer a physical model to take a snapshot of them than use the 3D creator, but the 3D does allow me certain things. So you can save those poses too. There's different number of poses. I'm not going to play with poses right now, but as you can see, quite a lot going on with that. Quite a lot. And lastly on here, you can change the voice. Now, there's only one voice card inside here, so I'm not sure. I'm not really sure why that is, but maybe they're going to add more. I'm assuming that there's more cards that you'll be able to choose from to get different range of voices later on in the game. But you can see that we've got a vocal cord size adjustment, dumbass. So you got those, so you can change. Going up higher gives you a very high-pitched voice. Going down lower gives you a lower bass voice. So you can get your Morgan Freeman, you get your Morgan Freeman going on if you want to. So now we've got character action. Let's take a look at the clothes. This is the armor that we're wearing. Let's zoom out so that way we can see this stuff, right? That's the armor that we're wearing now. Yeah, look at that stuff. I like that. That's my favorite armor right there for the warrior, right? I'm not sure if you go into game with these yet, if this is what you choose, right? But, oh, you know what? I'm an asshole. So let's go back to choosing this character so you can see the helmets for these characters. So obviously, I don't want to stick with this fucking Crusader-looking armor, right? I like this kind of armor right here, because now my dude looks like he's ready to come invade some shit and fuck it up, right? And this dude to me looks like he's ready to protect some shit, like he's a member of the King's Court. Like that is pretty cool. Those two are my favorite, right? And then you can go kind of real basic if you wanted to, right? Maybe he's a nomadic kind of warrior. We can start upscaling armors and so forth here. Kind of getting different picture here is that the game is really giving you the ability to customize your character as you see fit, and to make them look certain ways to fit the story narrative that maybe you probably have for your character. The last thing on this one that we're going to look at is the position. Position being like I guess what this is best, your character's actions and so forth, like how it moves, so how it feels, like this is going to be what you want to see. This is how your character is going to look when it's in the world doing things. And there's a number of positions here, that it will take. He's just got it's movement drills right here that you can see, so you can find out, is this what dude's like, nigga, you funny. But you can see that it's just he's got a lot of different movements, a lot of expression in the body. I really like that. There is quite a bit of expression. Now, if you look at Black Desert Online and if you've played Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, you'll notice that a lot of the generation seems very, very similar to A Realm Reborn. Very, very similar. I would say that they've taken A Realm Reborn's character generation and expounded upon it in a great way. The pose editor is something that I know I'm going to sit here and fucking probably play with for the rest of the night, because just it intrigues me. I'm not sure why it's in the game, why the pose editor is there, if maybe there are macros tied to it so that way you can do it, but it's intriguing. It's very intriguing. So I like it. I definitely want to see what it's about. These expressions, they're really good. I mean, some of them feel like they're kind of repeated, and you're like, oh, didn't you already do that? There are some action poses here coming up that I want to show off. So, but the character models look really well. Like, look at that. That is freaking cool. Like, his helmet went on now. The only problem with his helmet to me is that he kind of looks like Lord Zordon from the Power Rangers. Or not Zordon, what is it? Zed, excuse me, yeah. If you don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, you're probably too young to be on this channel. No, I'm just joking again. He does, the helmet looks like this Lord Zed. But you can see that the character generation here is just amazing. It really is. It really is amazing character generation. There's quite a bit to do with, and like I said, I can imagine you could sit inside the character generation, depending on if you're one of those people where, you know, it's going to be one of those things where you're like, yeah, you know what, I really want to do this. Now, here goes an interesting thing that I really do like a lot. The use of family names. So now, if you purchase, you don't get the option if you just got into the closed beta by doing the you got a key, lucky generation keys or anything like that. But if you paid to get into the game, the $99 package that they have with all of its kit and caboodle, then what's going to happen is you'll notice that you'll get the option. Well, even if you're in a closed beta, you're in a closed beta, so it's going to allow us to do it. But before the game starts, you're going to be able to lock out a family name. So here goes your family name. Like, I chose, all my characters are usually named Rain or Rains. That's me and my wife do that, and we've been doing that for a while. So I've got Rains, and she's got Rain because it wouldn't let her choose Rains as well. Not sure if there's going to be a way for people to mirror up family names, maybe do some marrying things and stuff like that, and then they get to pick, you know, family names, or maybe it's going to be clan related or something like that, and you do that shit too. That could be cool as well. So that's your character name, right? So what we're gonna have right there too is you can change then what your character name is. So for me, I would choose to put my character's Dark Side, and the family name would be Reigns, which, you know, is pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure how this is gonna work for the course of the closed beta and so forth, whether it's not it's gonna actually work. But you can actually save the models that you've created. You can create a temporary save file if you want to, so that way you can go ahead and create new ones. And you see there's a number of slots for temporary save files. Or you can go ahead and save a file as well for a character. So like, for instance, why is it, oh my god, fucking A. Like, stick it to you. Like, so I didn't tell the goddamn thing to save in C. Users Kakashi Reigns, motherfucker. No, it's not what I want to do. It's there, whatever. So then you can, if you want to, you can choose, you can load files. So like, you know, mine went and saved, and there you go. So now it's like, yeah, I can restore the defaults and so forth and come back inside here. That way I can do that. You know, I'm going to hold on to this later because I want to play around with it quite a bit. You can also create temporary saves though, so that way if you are, like I said, the game is robust. So there's enough here for you to do whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and play around with this a little bit. I'll probably make a video so that way I'm just speed through and show you me creating my character. but I wanted to give you guys a indication of the stuff that was inside the character creation. Like I said, if you play Final Fantasy or Realm Reborn, it's gonna feel very familiar to you. It's very in-depth, the character creation. Difference with Final Fantasy or Realm Reborn, as I would say, is you're probably locked into a different animation style, as opposed to this one. You really can get some really hardcore customization going on. My wife is playing with that shit quite a bit. Be careful with your naming policy when you create characters. They are adamant that they will not accept names that are offensive, vulgar, you know, so it's gonna have to be that. Naming policy does apply. Alright guys, well, thank you for sticking around for this little in-depth review of the character customization for Black Desert Online. This is going to be the Warrior. The next time I'll probably do something for you guys. Hopefully I get my wife to record a video of a female character that she's going to create, maybe her tamer, and that way I can post that up as well. I'm starting to try to get on her so that way she can post some videos, some gameplay that she does as well. But we'll see if I can lure her into that. Because I don't feel like creating a female character. I don't play female characters really, so I don't really want to go through the process of creating a character. But maybe I'll get her to do it with her tamer. So guys, until next time, as always, have fun. Have fun.